I'm focused. I've been watching for the omens. I've been listening to everything you said. It's been running through my head, locked and loaded. I got the feeling that you know it. Yeah, I've only just begun. I won't stop until it's done, till you're broken. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. I've been waiting for this moment, the final battle of the chosen. See, I'm never gonna quit, got my legacy set in motion. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. Welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. 'Cause the bigger they are, the harder they fall. You build your fortress and I'll climb your walls. You got your armor, but I see your flaws. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher.
Yo, what's up, everyone? How you doing, Patrick?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Had an exciting morning.
I know you did. I know. I told people in the chat you're toying around with partitions. Maybe a video coming out of that.
Yes, absolutely.
That nobody will watch. That's okay.
Somebody's gonna watch it.
I know of one person that will watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe two. Maybe two. Maybe two. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Jessica said they were talking about that in Saturday Morning Learning. Nice.
Oh, nice.
All right. See, Patrick's mind meld with you guys. That's nice. So it's good to have you back, Patrick. Of note, you weren't watching the chat while you were toying around with partitions. I've already spotted several it depends questions. So.
Oh man, I don't have a lot of ones.
This may be a bad day for you. Oh, yeah, a lot of people saying they would watch the partitioning video. So he's toying around.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. All right, welcome everyone. Happy Saturday. Hope you had a wonderful week. Mine was, I think both of ours, Patrick, were interesting in different ways.
Interesting. In different ways, yes.
Interesting, yes.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the weekend, though. I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
So, if you are new to Gynacube or the live stream in general, I've already seen a few folks that have said that's their first time. Put hashtag new in the chat. We always love seeing the new faces. And just seeing, like, the last couple of, I think, like, every stream we've done this year so far, it's like there's been a bunch of new people. Like, you weren't here last week, but there was a ton. It was amazing.
No, really?
It was amazing. So, always good to see that.
Maybe that's why they joined, because they knew I wasn't.
Because you weren't there?
Yeah.
It was Matthew, really. It was Matthew that brings them out.
They came to see Matthew.
All right. Also, shout out to the members of Gynacube. You help us do what we do here, and we greatly appreciate it. If you see folks with a green name or the Gynacube logo next to their name, those are members of Gynacube. They just support us in everything that goes on. We love it. If you want to learn more about being a member, check out the link on the screen or hit the join button down below. No commitment required. It'll just tell you more about it. So just thank you for checking it out. And again, thank you for supporting us. Members, hold your questions until Chatmaster C gives you the green light. And then she will clear the queue and let the members roll in. The second half of the stream, we will do members only chat. Everyone can still watch the stream and listen to the questions and learn something, but only members and moderators will be able to participate in the chat. So awesome. All right, questions. So questions with all the new folks that are here, just remember, put Q: in front of the question to get it in the queue. Chatmaster C is standing by. You only need to do this one time. It will get in the queue. You do not need to repeat the question. Once it's done, Chatmaster C's clicking away. She knows the clicks and she will get it in the queue. If you do repeat your question, we have a 3 strikes rule here on Gynacube. You will get put in a timeout. So if you see any of the folks with the blue name or the wrench next to them, just ignore Patrick. Those are moderators of Gynacube, and they will be watching and listening along with Chatmaster C, and they will get you in a timeout if you start spamming or anything like that. So don't do it. Nobody wants that. What am I missing? Also, with the questions in general, we don't get to every question in the stream. It never happens. We came close one time on the member side, but it just never happens. So if we don't get to your question, sorry. Come by next week and we'll try again. Get in early to get it further up in the queue. All right, news. I saw a bunch of them going by. Where did it start? So we got Burnett's not new. He's not new. Duran is new. Allen's new. Venkat's new. Data Parek is new. Eben is new. Look at all those. Welcome. There was also, at the beginning, there was someone else that mentioned they were new. I forget the name. Oh, Neil, you are there on your data train profile. Just remember, if you want to participate in member only chat, you got to switch over because you're a member on your other profile. Kevin, my depends contribution for the last week. I need to do better. Much appreciated, Kevin.
Yeah.
Love the support. Awesome. All right, Patrick, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's do that. Go into the queue. Ooh, the queue is light. Get your questions in if you have any. Now is the time. I'm gonna say this is Jonathan. Is it possible to automatically expand the width of a table depending on the data in it? I want to say yes.
I thought there was a yes.
There's a
Yes.
hang on. I'm going. Let's go to my machine. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's look. Let's explore together. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do, Patrick? You know what you know what I forgot to do. Nope, not that. Hang on 1 second. Hold, please. What'd I forget, Patrick? You don't even know.
I don't know.
I forgot to zoom it. All right.
Oh.
Here we go. All right. So if we go on, where is it would be on values, right? Options. So word wrap is on by default. And so Chris is saying would rather have the word wrap turned off by default. But word wrap is there. I thought there was an item to like set.
I'm looking.
I'm looking too.
I could have swore there was.
Cell elements. See, this is what we do when we don't know. We just go explore. So this is how per column.
I could have swore there was.
See, you just got to go explore sometimes and try things. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Not seeing any setting there. So I want to say. Well, yeah, I'm looking at the column. Oh, that's column subtotals, not column. There's column headers. Auto size width. There you go, right there.
Yeah. If you go to column headers.
Yep.
And then go to auto size width. Yep.
Ooh, not that. Right there. Auto size width. Bam. We found it. And that's under column headers, right? And does row headers have the same thing?
Yeah.
It has text wrap and then stretch layout. So there is no auto size.
Well, the column is what's gonna.
Yeah. So yep. There you go. Column size, auto size width. Bam. Not the. So Pod Beater said not whole table. What?
Are you on the new menu or the old menu, Adam?
I'm on the new menu.
Okay. All right. Somebody just asked, what about the new menu?
Yeah, this is the new menu. This is the preview feature is enabled, not the whole table. I don't understand that. It's all or nothing. Can't do that.
Oh, he asked for the table.
No, it's only going to be the columns within the table. So yeah. So not you can't auto size the width of the visual. It's of the whole visual. So yep. Okay. Here we go. All right.
Thanks,
all right.
Pod Beater.
Cool. Fernando, member for 12 months. He's 1 year old today. Well, congratulations. Happy birthday. Chris also, thank you for the super chat, Chris.
We're going to have a big donation by the end of the year to somewhere. With all this less depends, more do.
I don't know where Chris is.
I'm working on more prescriptive, less depends, more do.
I lost your I lost the super chat in my queue thing, Chris, but he said I'm working on being more prescriptive, less depends, more do. That's cool. Then Christian, member for 19 months. Said by summer I'll also have a blue badge. Blue badge? You're already at Oh, wait.
I think a Microsoft blue badge.
You're gonna be joining Microsoft. Nice. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Miss Belinda Allen said, donate to dog rescue, please. I love dogs.
See, we got many months to go. We'll see how much money we have by then. We'll see.
All right. Moving on. Next question. Erica. Welcome, Erica. First time to the live stream, I think she said. If I remember right.
Is she from Louisiana?
Yeah, that's the Louisiana one.
Yeah.
Or maybe she was just from Louisiana. I don't know. It was. Yes. So what's the best approach to take to determine if a client would need to buy a P1, P2, or P3 subscription? I thought you were going to get your dollar ready, Patrick, because this screams it depends. That screams it depends. That depends.
It depends.
It depends.
It
So
depends.
one thing I will drop in the chat, there's a so I'm putting a doc link in there. So this is a premium Gen 2 capacity load evaluation. So to understand like where your load is on the capacity itself, but it's not like definitive guidance on like capacity planning. Typically what I, wow, Wyatt. All right, we'll come back to that. So typically there's a lot of factors that go into it. And the reason why it's really hard to give you a solid number or a solid indicator is because like what models are in the capacity? What are they doing? What's the data size? What's the query patterns? How much concurrency? Do we have data flows going on as well? How many workspaces are in there, right? So there's all these factors contribute to what the load of a capacity is. From my end, what I look at is you've got to pay attention to the premium capacity metrics app, and you can go, actually, let me pull it up so I can show you. Come on. What the heck? All right. Oh, there we go. In private, hang on. Let me pull up so I can show you. Web page doesn't like. I need to get feedback on that. It bugs me every time. All right.
That's a good point, Daryl.
What was Daryl's point?
Oh, well, when you finish, go ahead. I got a couple of things to say. Go ahead.
All right. I don't know if this is the right one. Should be. Let me go over to my machine. All right. Yeah. Let's wait till this comes up. So in the premium capacity metrics app, you're going to see a couple things. First off, this overload minutes per hour visual. This is a red flag, right? So this means that you're potentially at stress. But the bigger thing is going to be this visual here, right? So this line, and I don't have the latest version, so this should be percentage now. But this yellow line is your 100% mark, right? So that's how much capacity you have from a CPU perspective. Almost everything is CPU based, there with few exceptions. And so here we want to see, you can kind of see if you're trending towards that 100% line, or if, you've got a lot of good headroom, or if you're going over that trend line. And if you're going over that trend line, that's where, this is also telling you that you went over. So that means you're going to if you go over, you're either getting throttled, or if you have auto scale enabled, that's going to kick in. And so to me, this is potentially like, I need to go pay attention here. Like what's going on? If it's an occasional blip, like if all I did was saw this one guy just hanging out one time, I don't know. But if I'm seeing a recurring pattern of overages, that's where I start to get a little concerned, and maybe I need to go optimize. I got to go do something else. But also if your trend line, if you're starting to see that you're getting close to that 100% line consistently, that is your indicator as well. And so let's talk about, in any of these cases, there's only ever 3 options that you have. Regardless of what's going on, you only have 3 options. One is optimize. So look at your current load, look at your data flows, look at your data sets, look at all of that, go and optimize them, right? So get more bang for your buck, or Patrick's buck, if that happens to be the case. And then, just try and make it faster and try and get it to consume less resources, right? That's the name of the game. How do we get it to consume less CPU? So either going in and out faster, or, it's just not as heavy. Your other option is going to be scale out. So do you have multiple like P1s, and we can move a given workspace that's taking a lot of load off to its own, like isolate it a little more, so it's not kind of impacting other workloads on that premium capacity. And then your third option is scale up, right? So do I go from a P1 to a P2, from a P2 to a P3, right? So you get more headroom now. So those are your 3 options, and so you just have to monitor that. And Alex, I like your comment about just buy a P1. Keep it in mind. Hang on, where'd my mouse go?
It's an annual commitment. It's an annual commitment, man, when you buy that capacity. And I think that's what what's missed from that statement. But Alex said it. Okay, Alex said it. Yeah.
Just ask for a P5 and then settle on a P3. Oh, it's funny. Yeah.
Man, but if you're doing testing though, right? I remember when I was in the field, when I didn't work and I didn't have access to like a dedicated capacity, I'd spin up embedded and do some testing on an embedded SKU, because you can start it, stop it, you spin what you need, you know, kick it out, and then, you know, do some testing there, and that'll kind of give you a benchmark of where you need to be. And then you can say start with a P1. Then I start with my P1, and you can always spend more money. Microsoft will always take more money from you. So
Yep. So hopefully that helps. All right. Wyatt, thank you for the super chat. SQLBits Beer Money Fund. It depends on Chatmaster C. I'm not going to SQLBits, so I don't think Chatmaster C cares. Patrick is, though, and he greatly appreciates that.
I'll take it all.
And then Miss Belinda Allen, thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciated. All right. Okay. Clear that out and go back to the queue. So Erica, hopefully that gives you some food for thought on that. All right. Armando. I'm trying to compare two databases to see statuses of records of both matches and mismatches. I can only get matches using paginated reports. Any examples or suggestions what I can try?
What are you matching?
Yeah, what are we matching?
This is not an it depends. This is what are you matching? What are you matching?
Well, from two different databases. So we got two different. So there's two Power Query queries. I'm assuming we're doing Power Query, and they're coming from, let's say, Azure SQL Database 1 and then Database 2, and we're matching and mismatches. So like that's where like merging in Power Query that normally will help you do, and you can choose the join pattern.
You gotta figure, we don't know what you're matching.
Yeah. I mean, I would look at like the merge option in Power Query, although I'm very careful about that because it's a very heavy, it can be a heavy operation. It can be, right? So it's, you got to be careful with it, but that's how you could do it. The other thing I would go, let's invoke, so I'm actually going to say it depends here. I know I am, because you can do it in Power Query, so it depends on what you're trying to match, but you can also do like look, why can't I do that maybe in the database side? You said that you can do it in paginated, which means you're doing it from a T-SQL perspective. So could we get a view there as well, and you can just pull in like what those matches and mismatches are? So that's an option. Do it at the source.
Well, you can just do a left outer join, right? You can do a left outer join on one side, or you can do a full outer join, and then it'll give you a comparison. There's all types of stuff you can do in the source, man. If it's just SQL, I would do all this.
Matthew's comment.
What did he say?
That's hilarious.
So anyway,
I don't know what it was in reference to. I didn't catch it, but.
But if you have access to the source, do it in the source. Write a query. Handle it all in the source. You
link server for the win.
See if it's a match. Well, if it's two databases, hopefully on the same server.
I doubt it.
Hopefully on the same server. Then you can just add a column. If they match, put a flag, right? Yes, no.
Oh, this was he was referencing Chris's comment. I don't know, what did Chris say? If you need more than a P3, plan accordingly. P4, P5 take longer to deploy because hardware has to be installed to support it. Actually, Chris, that's lighting up more. So like you can actually see now from an individual process if a P5, P4 is available in your data region. It should be available in the drop-down list. That's relatively new. So anyway. Oh, Chris said to use Excel. Why would you do that? What? I didn't even see that.
Introducing Excel. Why are we introducing Excel?
Yeah, why would you do Excel? All right, anyway. Okay. It's all right. We forgive you.
Chris is just stirring the pot.
Yeah, I know.
He's just stirring the pot.
Man. I call it poking the bunny. There was like this animated thing.
He's poking it.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Medi. Hello all. Hello. Is there a way to drill down in Gen 2 metrics app to find the DAX formulas that's causing the problem? High CPU. No, not from the capacity metrics app. So what you'll be able to drill down to is what you'll be able to drill down to is like what data set is causing the problem. And then hopefully you have log analytics enabled, which is getting the AS trace information, which is then going to have the actual DAX queries, right? So it's a combination of the two. So one is at a higher grain than the other. Cool.
You should do a video on that.
It does come up quite a bit when in customer discussions.
I'm gonna do a video on that.
No, I'm gonna do a video on it. That's my area. Why are you taking my area? What are you doing? You stick to your partitions.
Roll on.
Stick to your partitions.
Oh man, that's gonna be so nice.
Oh, look at that. Paul's got a blog post on matching and validating two data sets. Look at that. Thanks for sharing that, Paul. Nice. All right, cool. Let's go. Duran. When will the Power BI service support folder creation in the workspace? Oh boy.
I have no idea. I
don't know. I mean, there's updates coming for not that, but there's updates coming.
I don't think that's
There's in the release plan. There's an item there. I don't know if Alex already
folders?
shared it. No, not that. I said that's not part of it.
Oh. Okay.
But there is an update on there's my workspace. There was another one about just some updates. Oh, it was for the app. It was for the app permissions. That's what it was. So the ability to like do like ACLs within an app, which is helpful in that scenario. And so the other thing that normally when this comes up is for folders is like I get the high level of like why you would want them, but in discussions I've had with customers, sometimes it comes around like, yes, the folders are what I'm thinking I need, but with the actual app permissions, and Alex, I don't know if you already dropped the one for the app one. I'm trying to find it. Why is it's not coming up readily?
He just put it in there. Artifact level access.
Yeah, artifact level access. And so typically in the discussions I've had is for a lot of scenarios, the artifact level permissions on the app is helpful because you're trying to like account for different roles within the app. So like different personas coming in. And so that's a way that you could control that. I get that there's other reasons why you would want folders. And there's nothing on the release plan for that right now. So as Alex put in the chat, go vote for it on ideas.powerbi.com.
Vote it up.
Vote it up. Cool. All right. Let's do Tim Wharton. Can Azure Data Factory use Xmla endpoints and datasets in premium capacities as part of a data pipeline process? Sure.
Yeah.
So, because I would imagine in Azure Data Factory, you can connect to analysis services.
Yeah.
Which means you can
an
XML endpoint.
You can absolutely do this. I was looking for a doc on it. I can't find it, but I know there's blog posts out there, and you can do this.
Yes, the XMLA endpoint is magical. It's magical. That was not.
What is the XMLA endpoint?
What is the XMLA endpoint?
I kid.
It is a point of magic that enables a lot of X's, M's, L's, and A's.
Ooh, I like that. I like it.
I feel that I felt both Matthew and Chatmaster C rolling their eyes at me together.
You can call APIs. I'm sure it can be done. I've read some blog posts on this. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Nate. Q is still really light. That's amazing. Nate, what is the best storage method to deal with multiple huge fact tables? 3 or 4 fact tables, 5 to 20 billion rows, 300 plus columns, and large dimension tables, 5 million rows. It depends.
It depends, man. It depends on the frequency of the load, how fresh the data needs to be. It depends, you know? So, I mean, we could take so many approaches. to this. How many fact tables? 3 to 5 fact tables.
3 to 4.
20 billion rows.
20 billion.
300 plus columns in the fact table?
Well, is that combined across like every table? Hopefully you don't have 300 plus columns on a single fact table. Don't do. Honestly, I would also say hopefully you don't have 300 plus columns on combined 4 fact tables.
Yeah. So
keep it clean, keep it simple.
Man, yeah, to be honest, first I would look at my model. I would take a real hard look at my model to make sure it's optimized to the fullest before I even think about storage modes or anything like that. That thing should be, and I'm not talking about narrow from a column perspective, I'm talking about narrow from a size, you know, the types of data types you're using in your fact table. There shouldn't be a bunch of strings on your fact table, right? Dates and integers are fine because dates are just stored as integers under the cover. Go watch Alberto's video where he talks about that. Integers and numeric columns with less than or equal to 4 decimal places should absolutely work. All that stuff is stored as integers under the covers by the AS engine. So I would focus on the width of my fact tables and be really selective of what you're trying to pull in the Power BI. Then once you do that, then you need to think about frequency. How often do you load that data into your data warehouse, right? How often? And then what are my end user requirements? You got to go talk to your end users before you make this decision. There's so many things you can do. I was just playing with partitions in Tableau Editor. You can create your own partitions so you can come up with your own refresh strategy for these partitions. You can leave a ton of data in direct query now with hybrid tables. You can leave that stuff and just let it. Paul said my blood pressure's going. You can do so many things with this. So we don't have a bet tell you how to do this, right? You got to go look at this model, and then you got to figure out from the requirements, from data load, from what you're trying to accomplish, from the questions you're trying to accomplish. It is a lot of effort, but with hybrid tables, with aggregations, with composite models, you can come up with a solution. This is not something we can answer on the live stream. To be honest, give you a definitive answer on the live stream. Go ahead, Ad.
I like Christians. Short and fat, or dimensions are short and fat, and fact tables are long and skinny.
Long and skinny, like me.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Keep it simple. Keep it clean. Keep it simple.
Yeah,
that's my mantra, man. Yeah. Yep.
I know that's not what you want to hear, man. I know that's not what you want to hear. You wanted some kind of definitive, boom, this is what you do. Someone give Patrick a mic and control.
He's got one. It's above him, but please don't drop it.
No. I know that's what you wanted, but that is not a simple. You should go watch. I have aggregations. There's a playlist on our channel about aggregations, how you can hydrate these very large tables, how you can incrementally load them, use an incremental refresh and things like that. You should go watch both of those playlists, an incremental refresh and aggregations. I'm going to do some more stuff on hybrid tables. All that is going to be a factor for this very large data warehouse that you have.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yep. Now, Matthew, now, mic drop.
David, hydrate. It's funny. That's funny. All right. Let's go to Akil. All right. This is a question for you, Patrick. Calculation.
Whenever you say that.
Calculation group format string expressions doesn't seem to work on measures created at the report level. Report connected live to a data set. Is that a known issue?
I thought that was fixed.
Yeah, no. Read his comment. He's live connected to a data set and he's doing a report level measure. That's not going to work.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. It's got to be in the model. It's got to be in the model.
It's got to be in the model.
Yeah. Otherwise, wonkiness occurs there. So yeah,
okay.
I think that's
report level.
I think that's a known limitation. I want to say that's a known limitation. All right. We got time for one more. All right. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Dynamic RLS I have set on seems to be working as expected. Causes the landing page when an employee logs in should be at the level of access the employee has to the data, which isn't happening. Wait. Oh. What? It seems not.
I thought you said it was working.
Okay. That's what I read that. Okay, so Dynamic RLS isn't working. How do you have it? You did something wrong. Maybe it's a relationship issue. I mean, maybe it's a relationship issue. Maybe like your DAX expression is overly complex and it's not landing correctly. I mean, there's a lot of things that go. It depends.
No, it does not depend. No, it does not. No, it does not. I'm not. Go open up your model. RLS, open up your model, test it, do a view as role.
Yeah.
Make sure it works right there in the desktop. Publish it. Once you publish it, make sure that those users, if you give them access to the workspace, that they're viewers. They can't be anything above that. Then go over to the role and make sure you've added them to that role. If you don't do those things, it ain't gonna work. I'm sorry, it ain't gonna work. Try those 3 steps. If that doesn't work, come back next week and tell us what you find.
Yep. So you go to security.
It's not, it depends.
And then you've got to add, in here, you've got to add the user or groups in here so that those roles apply to that user. So usually people miss this step. This step is normally where it gets missed. So, yeah. All right.
No, it does not. It depends. I'm not giving you one of my dollars, Adam.
All right. We are at the halfway mark. So we're going to go over to member-only chat. So members, you now can submit your questions. Chatmaster C has cleared the queue. Apologies for those other questions we didn't get to. It was kind of close. It looked like it was going to be close, but we didn't get there. So yeah, members, get your questions in, and then everyone else, so members and moderators will be able to participate in the chat. Everyone else, you'll still be able to watch the stream, but you will not be able to participate in the chat directly. You'll still be able to learn a lot of great stuff though. Also, super chats take priority. So if you do have a question, a burning question that you want to get answered, super chat always takes priority any time of the stream. Just remember, if you're doing a super chat, type in the question before you actually submit it. Otherwise, you're just sending money, which is always appreciated, but I want to make sure that you get the value that you were looking for. All right, kicking over. Here we go. Also, oh, look at that. Dude, Alex has been a member for 24 months. Wow.
You know what, Alex?
Wow.
He's
I know, he's trolling.
But you can write a script for that.
All right. Hang on, we'll get to Alex's question. Before we get to Alex's question, one of the benefits of being a member is you can pre-submit questions if you're at the visitor or the producer tier. And we do have another submitted question from, did I do it right? Yes, Guy3. Submitted some questions last week, and we've got another one this week. It's paginated related. So in the paginated report based on cascading parameters. So we got a cascading parameter that's like, last work week, last month, drop down with selections here. We're able to filter the date range, but we have a feature where if the cascading parameter option is set to custom, so in the drop down we choose custom, then the user wants to see a date picker with the calendar picker. If not, they should see a pre-filtered date range based on the quick select drop down that they have. Is there a possibility to do that by graying out the date picker if the quick select is not custom? Thank you for submitting that question. So the short answer is no. But let's head over to my machine. So the challenge here, and this is actually when I first got the question, I didn't know off the top of my head, so I had to go look. But the problem is if I create a parameter, you do have a visibility for the parameter itself, whether it's visible or hidden. The challenge here is that there's no expression context on the visibility here. And so with no expression capability here, we can't easily do that based off selections of the parameter. So that's not going to work. Patrick, you had an idea this morning that you were thinking may work. Do you remember what that was?
Well, it's what he said, though, at the bottom of his question. It's exactly what he said. So we can't programmatically enable, disable, unless Paul has some trick up his sleeves, because Paul is Mr. SSRS paginated reports. You can't programmatically do it, and so you just have to set the value. But it's what he said, and it could be confusing, because if I just set the value and the boxes are still enabled, could the user go and do something? So even if they did, I would have that in the code, though, in an expression in the code. If that value is selected, override whatever they put in and send nothing down to my query. That's what I would do.
Yep. So, but there's no way to control like whether that is enabled or not. It's either there or
Not
it's
that I
not.
know
Oh,
of.
Paul said yes. I'll find it. Okay.
Oh.
right.
Well, there you go.
Oh, wait.
He says I don't have a solution for this. Okay.
Okay.
Never
All
mind.
right.
Never
He
mind.
was saying yes. I'll find it to someone else. I think not to this. All right.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So Alex, going back to Alex's, so the weird thing about those member like notification things is they don't show up in my thing, so I can't put it on the screen. But he said, Gynacube need to delete orphaned workspaces, but the admin portal Workspace UI doesn't support delete options. Any thoughts? What's
I don't do admin stuff. So that's all you.
I know it's all me. All right, let's go back to my machine.
I could have swore there was a PowerShell or an API or something that allowed.
I'm going to say it depends. Hang on, hold off. No. Hang on. It may not depend. Hang on.
Well, because somebody said I was being cheap, and so I can't be cheap. If you said it, I got to put it in the bucket.
No, hang on. Okay, so here's an orphaned one, right? So he's saying I've got orphaned workspaces. Now there's a difference here also of, so there's group. So there's a couple different types here, right? So there's group, there's personal group, and then there's workspace. What do these mean, Patrick? Do you know what those mean? I know what they mean.
I can't even see that, dude. What did you say again? Sorry, I was trying to bring that up.
So you have different types here. So for the type of a workspace, you have group, you have personal group, and you have workspace. Those are the three different types you would see here. So
I don't know what those mean.
Personal group, we know what that is, right? That's your My Workspace. Right?
My Workspace. Right.
A group is Workspace V1.
It's V1.
It's V1.
Oh, okay.
Workspace
V1. All right.
Workspace V1. So when it says actual workspace, that is V2, right? Yeah, Chewy's in there. Group equals V1. That's correct. All right. So my first question here is, Alex, is it group or workspace that you're seeing there? So that's the first thing. If it's workspace here, that's why I'm like, it depends. Well, but wait, hang on. This is where it depends. I don't know. It's not about the workspace type. It's about whether or not I can actually delete it. So if I go here and then I do have a recover option, but you'll see I don't have a delete option. I think that's what Alex was getting to, right? So I don't have, if it's orphaned.
He says the type doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, I want to say if it's in an orphan state, you can't delete it.
He put a REST API in there for delete group. He knows the answer.
Oh, okay.
He knows the answer.
I don't.
I didn't fail for it, man. I don't know how you fail for this. That's what Alex does. You going through
I've never
process.
had to do that. I was exploring it. So the API we can do it. Cool. Yeah, the UI.
Oh, I can't believe you fell for this, man. I can't believe you. Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
I was honestly curious. I don't know. I was curious.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Alex, for sharing. Appreciate it. All right, Miss Belinda Allen. All else being equal, what are your top 5 go-to musts for optimizing report performance? Model or visual? Just top 5 of any category. Model, definitely first thing I go look at.
No.
Well,
No.
is it? No. Model's not the first thing I go look at.
Oh, okay.
Model's not the first thing. The first thing I go look at is Performance Analyzer. Right? Because I want to go see where I'm going to go. Am I going to go visual or am I going to go model? Right? Because if I look at Performance Analyzer and I see first off, if I see 50 visuals, that's a problem, right? You got to go fix that.
That's one. Okay, let's just say that's one.
Right.
She said 5. That's number 1. All right, go.
Right? After that, I'm going to go look. So let's say there's 7 visuals, right? That's not super crazy. 7 visuals, and maybe we see 1 or 2 that are slow. I'm going to go look and see, is the Dax field, is that where the bulk of the time is? Or is it other? Right? Because if it's other, my only recourse is either potentially other visuals or maybe it's Dax on another visual, or it's going to be something with the visuals themselves and I got to go fix the visuals. But if it's Dax, now I'm going to the model, right? And then from the model, then I'm going to go look at, so typically, so Patrick will tell you this too. Anytime we, if someone says I've got slow performance, And if I don't have access to the Power BI desktop file itself, I'll ask for two things. I want the VPAX file from DAX Studio, and I want either the BIM file or a PBIT file of the desktop file so I can look at the model, right? But then I'm also going to go look at the VPAX, and I'm looking for things like cardinality, I'm looking for size, I'm looking for all sorts of things there. So those are things I go look at. Were you counting?
I think you're like at 30 now.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Yes.
I lost count. I think you're like at 30.
So I let Performance Analyzer really guide me in, do I look at report optimization or do I look at model optimization? That's usually where I go from that. So
Chris Wagner just asked a great question. Go ahead, keep going.
no, that's a total, you're just like, all right, Miss Melinda, I hope that I didn't count that. I don't know, but hopefully that gives you some good direction. So
Model.
usually it's the model. I'd say 8 out of 10 times it's the model. All right, Thomas. Is there a way to pause Power BI from calculating each and every time a new measure is added, such as? Oh yeah. So I'm assuming that you're referring to when we're creating a report, right? We're dragging things over, and every time we drag, it just causes everything to like re-visualize and kicks off everything. This is particularly painful if you're doing direct query. Because you're just going to hammer the data source as you're building out the report. It's a common ask that I've seen or heard from people of like, look, if I'm in direct query, just like, let me hold on before you send anything. Let me drag and drop and then go and let me trigger that you can go do this. That's not a capability today. So ideas.powerbi.com voted up. I know it's out there. I'm going to assume that Thomas is referring to direct query at that point.
Let's try something though. Go to my machine. Can you go to my machine just for a second?
Sure.
All right.
Just remember to zoom it.
Go to my machine.
It's smaller than mine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So I have this really simple table. Okay. Right on my model here. Right. And he says every time a new measure is added. So if I go here. Now let's pretend I have several visuals on this page, right? When I go over here and say new measure, watch Performance Analyzer, right? It's got to it's gonna run that table for me. Yeah. Right?
It's gonna reevaluate.
Now, but if I go to a blank page, because this is what I do a lot. If I just simply go to a blank page with no visuals on it, right? Let's clear this out and do new measure. It's got nothing to evaluate. And it's much faster. Right? So start with a blank page. Just go on a blank page in your report. There's nothing for it to evaluate. Create your measures there. Now, right? There's some stuff still going on behind the scenes. There's some things still happening, but it's still not evaluating those visuals. Well, go for it.
Patrick's watching me shake my head, so no one else can see that, but Patrick sees it. So here's the challenge, Patrick, is that and typically what I hear from customers is when we've got a direct query report. So like add the table visual, and then I have to drag or I have to, check on, each field that I want in that visual. Every time I do that, it's reevaluating the visual, and we're canceling queries, we're sending new queries.
But if I don't have any visuals though, there's no visuals.
No.
Nothing on this page.
So that you're absolutely right if you're saying I want to create a measure. But the other challenge of this is when I'm dragging and dropping items to visuals to build out the visual, it's going to hammer your data source, potentially.
Oh, yeah, that. But I'm just talking, he just said add measures. Every time a new measure is added, such is that it calculate on demand. Maybe I'm not understanding. Is he talking about adding a measure to the visual or creating a new measure? Maybe that's where I'm. Yeah.
But there's no way to control that, though.
No.
Nope.
So I will tell you this. Stay tuned on that. Just stay tuned on that. I heard something. Just stay tuned on that. What did Matthew say? Okay, someone needs to get Patrick a subscription to Go Mic of the Month Club. What does that mean? I don't.
He's giving you a compliment.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Thank you so much, Matthew. And you know what's so exciting about this? I get to hang out with Matthew for like 8 days in about 20 days. I'm so excited about this.
I'm so sorry, Matthew.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I do like Rice had a comment. I do like that. He said, he normally just hides the other visuals.
Yeah.
So we only have the one that we're working on. So temporarily hide them. It's still a pain, right? It's not.
Yeah.
When we're doing direct query, and particularly it's a pain like if the queries that are there and it's a large data source we're hitting and the queries they're slow and there's a lot of them and it's reevaluating. It's painful. I get it. I get it.
Stay tuned though. I tell you, stay tuned on those topics. Stay tuned. That's all. Just stay tuned.
Yes.
Matthew, so you can have mics to drop. Thank you so much, Matthew. Boo, 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 boo.
All right. James. Here we go. My data flow is failing intermittently with error code, blah. Googling has not helped. Data access violation exception. Whenever I see that, I think privacy levels. Play around with that. Like validate like what that data flow is doing and what the privacy levels are. That's. Or wait, no, that's data. Yeah, data access value exception. I don't know. Maybe that's not. I don't know. James, you'd have to open up a support case if you're not finding anything on it. That is obviously not a very descriptive error. So unless Alex has some like interesting insights into that, I will say the best error I ever saw, I said this last week, was the, Patrick didn't hear it, the 0x0000 dead. That was the best error ever. That was amazing. I'll have to tell you about that, Patrick. We haven't talked about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Patrick missed it. Yeah, Alex is like, submit a ticket. Yeah, go to support on that one. All right, Paul. What do we do? Can I access a Power BI dataset as a database source, ODBC, Jdbc, in another application? Yes.
Xmla endpoint?
Yeah, I mean, use analysis services providers to do that. So just treat it like an analysis services server. Now, it should work. So I would do, so if it's .NET, we can use ADOMD to do it. And then I believe the analysis services provider or the drivers for there, or I think we only have an OLEDB provider for it. I don't think we have ODBC
I think so.
for that.
I think so.
But yeah, like go down the road of analysis services. In the XMLA doc, like about XMLA, there's a bunch of different connecting options for it. It lists out like different providers for different types of platforms and stuff. So go through that and see if you can.
Both Chris and Paul are saying you can do this.
Yeah. I know you can. So it just depends on like what platform you're on and how you're trying to connect to it. Yeah.
I'm just wondering what you're doing though from that AS data set. I'm just curious. Why do you need to pull that data out? I'm just curious. All right.
Chris has got a good one. If I move equals migrate from Azure Analysis Services 60 gig model to Power BI Premium per user. Ooh, when I was reading that beforehand, I just read it as premium. What do I lose?
It's the max size for premium per user.
Yeah, I think it's 100 gig.
Okay.
100 gig. So the challenge with premium per user, let me come at this from an overall premium capacity perspective. If it's premium capacity, then there are certain capabilities in Azure AS today that are not available in premium. The big thing is query scale out.
QoS.
Yeah. QSO, not QoS.
QSO.
Yeah, QSO. Query scale out. And so if you're using that capability in Azure AS to handle concurrency, things of that nature, that's not available today in Power BI Premium. Or premium per user. So that's the one thing, that's the big thing I would look at is if you're not using QSO, then okay, cool. There are some other like edge cases of capabilities that are in Azure AS that are not in premium. So but in general, it should work. The thing I would think of is struggling, and Alex kind of hinted at that too, is there may be some additional throttling on premium per user that's not there in premium, or you have bigger, you have more space to work with on full premium capacity as compared to premium per user. But the other thing is going to be the sharing piece of this as well. And so typically if you have an AS model, you've got a bunch of people that are taking advantage of that. You go to premium per user. Now everyone touching that has to have premium per user. They have to be licensed that way. Whereas if it's in a premium capacity, they don't have to have a pro license or a premium per user license. So the sharing piece is going to come into play there. So those are the things I would think about there.
And if you have a small group of people, it's perfect, you know. But if we're talking lots and lots of people, you go premium. But if it's just premium per user, I mean, if you have a small group, premium per user, sure. But you gain things, right? You gain things by going to premium, like incremental refresh, paginated reports. You gain things by using premium per user going from Azure AS. So you got to think about that also, right? Not just the things you're going to lose.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps you, Chris. All right. Thomas. Will Dynamic RLS work between two RLS models with separate security tables with a report link between reports? So we're talking proxy model?
I'm guessing. I'm going to guess.
So composite modeling, proxy models. So here's the thing with RLS, with proxy models. If you define RLS on the source database, not the proxy model, but at the actual data set, that'll be honored. You can't define it at the proxy model level for the reference data sets. Now, the challenge is if you have RLS against those two data sets, like you still could get some weird interactions between the two if you're combining the two. RLS should apply on those, but you may get some wonky results. So you want to test that.
You got to properly set up RLS, though. You got to do everything like you normally would do in each one of those models. And it's got to be set up and working. So when you bring them together, it's going to apply those rules across both of those models. It should.
Yep. Yeah. So it should work. It depends, though. It depends. It absolutely depends. How many you got left?
Not telling you.
All right. All right, Joe.
There you go. You
got $3 left. All right, we're gonna get that. We'll get that for sure. I have a dimension table in SQL and the same table in a file in SharePoint. It is a few 100,000 rows, so it's baby data. Well, it's not baby data when we're connecting to SharePoint because that'll be slow. We want it in a data flow. Cool. Is there a difference sourcing it from SharePoint versus SQL? SQL will be faster.
SQL.
Yeah, SQL all day.
Use SQL.
I will do SQL all day. Yeah, SQL's
hey,
faster.
Why don't you? Yeah, SQL's faster. Don't do SharePoint. Look at Miss Belinda's question. I was thinking the same thing myself.
Wait a second. I see someone starting something here. Quiet said, Adam just said that. No, it was a legitimate. It depends. That was a legitimate. It depends. Because it depends how they're doing the RLS and where things are. That was legit. Why does Patrick have to pay Adams? It depends. Well, because Patrick's the one with the jar. I don't have the jar. Also, I'm never allowed. I never get cash. So, talk to Chatmaster C.
Look at Matthew's comment.
What did Matthew say? Right? Like as with Chatmaster C, she always has the cash. And with Patrick, he always has the cash. I never have cash.
You have no idea how much money Adam will spend. You just cannot let him have money. You just can't.
It's a true statement. Have you seen my flight sim?
I'll have a $10,000 camera sitting in front of me if it's up to Adam. No, let's just let it go.
Did you see Chris's? Gonna be like 80 years old, sitting on a Porsche together, and Adam will be telling Patrick to put $1 in the jar. Amen. Chatmaster C agrees with you. Oh, all right. Moving on. All right, we did Joe's, right? Yes. SQL all day, Joe. Mark.
SQL all day, Joe.
Mark, will conditional formatting be coming to column sparklines? Want to show monthly columns filled red, green.
I love it. I love it. I love this comment. I love this comment. I love this comment. I said that when I did the video on spark lines. I don't know. I don't know if it's coming, but it would be great instead of selecting.
Ideas.powerbi.com.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's a good one, Mark. I love it.
All right, how we doing? We got 5 minutes and we got 4 questions in the queue. We can do this. David,
right, let's go.
David,
we're gonna go. How
can I give every viewer of a workspace build access? I can see Alex going like, 60 plus data sets in a dataset pipeline and don't want to give the report dev team more permissions than needed. So here's the challenge with build permission. Oh, go ahead.
Can I ask something though? When I create an app, isn't there a choice to give them build permissions in the app?
In the app, yes, but that's not what he's talking about. He's referring to deployment pipelines.
Oh, he said deployment. I just saw it. I thought it was just build permissions. Okay, go ahead.
He wants to give the dev team. So
Gotcha.
it's not the app.
Dataset pipeline. Dataset pipeline. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So the challenge here is there's not an API. There's not an API right now where you can go define the dataset permissions. So there's not a way to programmatically saying give build access. So it's a bunch of click, 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 click. Yeah. So not today. Not today. I don't have a good answer for you today. Not on that. So
are we just trying to give them build
David.
access though? Are we just trying to give them
because he wants to
build
minimize
access?
Yeah, because he wants to minimize the permissions that they need. So he's trying to do the least the most restrictive he can be on those. Which I get it.
Okay.
So Alex said, so that was Alex. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe there was a new API that came out, but I couldn't remember if that was true. If there is an API, then that's the answer. But I don't remember if that got released yet or not.
See, I'm thinking like Matthew. Why not just make an AD group?
Because the AD group, can you do the build permission on the AD group? That might be an option.
I don't know.
Might be an option.
Yeah. Okay. Just make an AD group. Make an AD group.
So Patrick, what I'm hearing you say is it depends. That's a good one.
That is good.
Dataset user and group. So Alex posted dataset user and group. What does that do? I don't think we're going to get to the other questions. We're going down a rat hole here. Wait.
Go read it. Let him go read it.
I can't click on the link in the chat because it screws everything up. What is this? Post dataset use. So it's under datasets. No.
If you right click and say open a new window.
Hush it. No, I can't do that.
I'm telling you.
I can't do that.
I just did it.
No, it doesn't. I'm doing it differently. Here,
Grants the specific user specific permissions to the specific data set. That may be it.
What? No, I don't want to leave YouTube. What?
Only
Yes.
data
All right.
sets in the
I can't read it right now,
experience.
but I trust Alex. So go look at that. That's an option. Matthew's comment about like if we can do a security group and we can assign build permissions there, that's a great option if that's available. Yeah, cool.
Read, explore, read, share, read.
Hopefully that
share,
gives you something. Hopefully, yeah. And so Rishi's also commenting, yes, you can assign an AAD group build permissions. So bam, there you go. Do it with an AAD group. So cool. You got a couple options there. Cool. Thank you, everyone.
Did you just curse? Did I miss? Did you curse?
No.
Oh, okay. That's what Paul said. Did Adam just say?
I did not curse. So what if I did? Whatever. I did not say that, Paul. I didn't. I swear to I didn't. Now, sometimes my tongue gets tied and it may have sounded like that because I tripped up on a word, but I honestly did not say that. But again, still here. All right, Rishi. What is the advice for linking workspaces for OneDrive SharePoint? Linking? What does linking workspaces mean? Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I guess.
I know what he's talking about. To store PBX data sources, are there any issues with having the PBX file auto-sync rather than manual? So, So this is a common approach. So this was how it worked in Workspace v1. With Workspace v2, we have to manually assign it to say, hey, link to this like SharePoint document library or OneDrive. It's the same thing. And so this is where you have that polling. So you can just have the PBIX in the folder, and it polls like every hour, and we'll pick up updates to like the model or whatever. No, I mean, there's no, the issues there are just understand that it's polling every hour, right? So if you want it faster than that, that's not going to work, as opposed to publishing it. Now, here's the catch is if you manually publish it, you got to be careful, because that could break the link with the OneDrive SharePoint. So I've seen that happen before, where they just manually published and said overwrite, and then it was gone. Because you initially pull it in with doing, grab the data set from OneDrive or SharePoint, and that creates that link. When you manually publish it from your desktop and then it says, hey, do you want to overwrite it? And you say yes, you've now broke that link. And so I've seen those situations where it's like, where they're like, wait, why isn't it pulling it from OneDrive anymore? It's well, because you manually published it and you broke that. So, yep. So be careful about that. That's the only thing I would call out there. Paul's comment. That's funny.
What did Paul say?
That's effing great. I don't know. I think chat went off a little bit. So I don't know. I wasn't following all of it. So all right, let's. We're over. We should get Chris's. Let's get Chris's. We got two more questions. I know Chatmaster C's checked out at this point, but that's fine. All right, Chris. How can I manage hybrid tables with Tabular Editor for my enterprise models?
Open it up, connect to them, and do whatever you want. It's not bad, Chris.
That's what you were toying around with. That's what you were toying around with before the stream.
It is like so easy, Chris. I was telling Adam, the biggest thing is if you're going to build them from scratch, you need to make sure you change the compatibility model, and it's not available in the dropdown when you create it, to 1565. That's all you have to do. After that, you create it, you create your model, you create your partitions, you can switch between storage modes. Chris, I'm doing a video on this. I don't care if it's just me, you, and another person that watches it. There's a video coming out in the next couple of weeks. And if you have any questions, just hit me up and let me know. It's super, super easy. You just got to make sure you specify the right compatibility model. Everything else just works. So there you go.
Cool. All right.
All right.
Last question. Yi. Need export Power BI into a PDF file. Okay. Then an FTP job will pick it up and deliver it to a client outside the company. How to set this up? Power Automate.
Power
Automate. Use the export task that's in there, and then go to town. Have it drop it somewhere and have some other automation. So with the Power Automate, you can drop it in like a SharePoint folder somewhere, and then have some other job that's doing some FTP thing. Do people still use FTP? I guess they do. So yeah, Power Automate.
I was talking to somebody that uses SFTP, because it was like super secure.
So the FTP.
Use OneDrive.
So to clarify, the FTP piece, like I don't know if Power Automate will do that, but Power Automate will automate the export to the PDF, and you can drop it somewhere where you could maybe, if Power Automate doesn't do it, then have some external batch job or something, whatever, that then goes and shunts it into the FTP. So, yep. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Hybrid worked with 1565 compatibility mode. You gotta watch out for that. Yes. Cool. He says you can actually control. Wait, what was that? What did he say? Actually, use Control M for FTP. I don't know what that means. Actually, use Control M for FTP. If I do Control M, that's not on my keyboard. That's not going to do anything for FTP, but maybe it's referring to something else. But yeah, you go check out the Power Automate. There's an API to export the PDF, so you can, with code, you can do anything. So it's definitely that. All right, Chatmaster C says she's bailing, so I get it. I'm surprised she's still around. All right, everyone. Oh, thank you so much for being with us, Paul. Thank you for the super chat, much appreciated. And the other Paul Sutherland says, y'all are never not the best. Have a great weekend. You have a great weekend.
Thank you. Yeah, you have a great weekend,
He said Control M is an app. Okay, cool. Good to know. I don't use FTP.
Gotcha.
I haven't used FTP for a very long time. All right, everyone, thank you so much for being with us this Saturday. Great time as always. Patrick will be more prepared for the jar next week.
Yes.
Oh, you still have 2 left.
And I'm gonna, you know what I'm doing. Boom. There we go. We're gonna start fresh with a brand new stack.
All right, we got a new stack next week. All right, everyone, have a great weekend, and we will see you out on the interwebs.
I'm not ready for darkness. If we promise to hold on and to never let go, I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. I'm ready to absorb you. Feeding on your triggered lies. My ignorance defines you. The roof is gonna cave in.